I'm Sarah.
I'm Claire.
Hi, my name's Elise.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And we're all part of the Hornet Pride group in East. Mainly this semester we worked in Photoshop making locker signs for all the athletic groups and clubs throughout the school. We made signs ranging from volleyball and football all the way to chorus and FFA. The locker signs took a long time to get all finished. We also did a project for Mrs. Frederick's kindergarten class and then moved on to making schedule posters for all the winter sports, which we just got done with the other day.
The major trouble we had was when we were doing the schedule posters for mainly the basketball boys. We started out with a poster idea where we had to take pictures of the boys in action, and that didn't turn out so well. The pictures ended up blurry, and we also had the camera on a tripod, but the camera got moved, so that made a big difference too. Another trouble with the basketball poster we had was trying to find time for the basketball boys for us to take their picture. They also never brought their jerseys, so that was the trouble we had, and it was hard reminding them. And then there were little things that happened, such as like the laminator breaking, and that would push back our deadline a little bit. We didn't always hit the deadlines. Things happened that we didn't expect, such as we had to start a completely new poster idea, and we didn't plan for that. We should have been more straightforward with our deadlines and working harder to achieve those deadlines, but I think overall we're pretty awesome, and we did a pretty good job. So
At the beginning of this year, we started off working on sports locker signs. While in the process of the locker signs, we learned more about how to use the laminator and also how to stay organized with all the kids' locker numbers. We started off with the basics in Photoshop, and then we moved to a higher knowledge. We also went to Miss Frederick's class and took pictures of the kindergartners and used Photoshop to put their face in the Oval Office. Moving their pictures into Photoshop taught us more about cutting out the face and putting it in the surroundings. The next step we took was the schedule posters. This took a lot longer, but it taught us a lot more than anything else did.
Our first project of the year was for locker signs, and we made sure that at the beginning we got a list of all the clubs that we had to do and all the sports, and we tried to make sure that we had all the locker signs done towards the beginning. It was kind of hectic, but we eventually got all of them done. And then the other milestone we had was for Mrs. Frederick's class, and it was that we made sure that we took the pictures. It only took one day, and then we had them done in about a week to make sure we had them done by President's Day, which we got to. So we had those on time. And then our latest project was the milestone for the schedule posters, and it started off kind of slow because we couldn't decide what we wanted to do, and then we figured it out. But then when we started taking the pictures of the original plan, it turned out that it didn't really work out, so that kind of delayed when we were going to have the posters ready. And then we decided that we were going to make another format, and we took the pictures as fast as we could and made sure the whole basketball team brought their jerseys, and then we just got them done yesterday and up to make sure that we had the deadline met.
In every project we did this semester, we used Photoshop. Coming into East, I already knew some stuff about Photoshop and how to use it, but I definitely learned a lot more working with it so much. I learned a lot of new tools that I didn't know before and how to put our projects together at a faster pace. When we needed help, I usually asked peers in our class or even Mr. Updegraff himself. I learned a lot about taking pictures and how to set the camera. Come next semester, I'm hoping to learn a lot more and get a lot more accomplished.
Coming into this East class, I had never taken a computer class in high school, so everything we have done was kind of new, well, really new to me. I don't have a Mac or anything, so I had never really worked with Photoshop or any of those tools. So I have learned how to use Photoshop, all the different tools in Photoshop, such as cutting things out and pasting them in a separate document. I have learned how to perfect pictures in Photoshop and make them look real. What else have I learned? I learned things such as the pen tool and how to use the dot tool. I got help from the internet, and I got help from Mr. Updegraff, and we also got help from our students. We also got help from the students in the class with us. They would help us tape locker signs and hang them up.
So coming into this year, I didn't really know a lot about the computers or Photoshop or anything we've learned, but I had an idea of Photoshop because I took computer apps my freshman year, but that was a while ago. So as I started in Photoshop this year, I kind of remembered some of the skills I had learned, but there's a main tool that I learned this year, and it's the pen tool, and it's like where you can select the photo and it makes it more of a better selection.
Started off the beginning of the year with absolutely no idea how to work Photoshop. I knew how to open it. It was hard to figure out everything because we didn't really want to ask Updegraff about how to work every single tool on Photoshop, but we started off with the basics, getting the background, and then just little tiny things like drawing and typing, and then I personally learned how to put everything together and the different layers and the different effects we can do.